Hey guys, so I want to post my own video on aerial fishing, but this activity has some useful rewards including the equipable fishing rod, the fly fishing rod as well as the barbarian rod, and the fish sack which can be attached to the fish barrel which can be worn in the cape slot. You can also buy the angler's outfit here, but it's not recommended because getting it from the fishing trawler minigame is much more efficient. Along with the rewards, you can get some decent fishing and hunter experience. This activity uses mulch pearls as currency, and every time you catch a fish from a fishing spot, you have between a 1 in 75 chance to 1 in 100 chance of receiving a pearl based off of your fishing and hunter level combined. You also have a 1 in 20,000 chance of catching a golden tench from a fishing spot, which can be exchanged for 100 mulch pearls from Alri. So all the prices of the rewards are in the chat box below, but you can expect each of the rods to be about a 6 to 10 hour grind each, so to get all 3 rods would take about 24 to 30 hours. And to get the fish sack, it's going to be about a 60 to 100 hour grind. But I think the pearl fishing rod is worth it, especially if you do like a lot of angler fish catching or a lot of sacred eels. It's basically a 6-hour one-time grind and you get an extremely useful item. But here are the experience rates. In order to participate in this activity, you need at least 43 fishing and 35 hunter to catch the lowest level fish. You can see if you have higher levels, you'll catch higher tier fish, and your XP and mulch pearl rates will increase with higher levels of fishing and hunter. But like I said, if you have the lowest level requirements, you'll have a 1 in 100 chance of receiving a mulch pearl, and with the highest level requirements, you'll have a 1 in 75 chance of receiving a mulch pearl, which honestly is not that far off. So it's not the end of the world if you don't have great stats to begin with for doing this activity. So here are my recommendations for doing this activity to make it a lot easier. So definitely using the RuneLite desktop application will make this easier. It's a very popular jagex approved client, so you can type that into Google if you want to search for it. But basically my favorite plugins are the fishing plugin to have that activated, as well as for interact highlight, I'll just click the gear icon here, but under objects, show on interact as well as having the border width to 20 will make it a little bit easier to see. Also, if you have a number pad on your keyboard, you can turn on mouse keys, which you can find in the start menu by typing in mouse keys. By turning this on, you can use the number 5 on the number pad as a left click mouse button, so you don't have to do the left clicking on your right hand. But with all that set up, let's go over how to do aerial fishing. So all you need for this activity is a knife, and I like to have it in the bottom right of my inventory like this. And you don't need to wear anything for this activity, but you can wear an angler's outfit to get bonus fishing experience while doing this activity. If you have level 99 fishing or hunter, you can boost to level 100 with the skill cape, and it gives slightly better odds of getting mulch pearls while fishing. You could also wear the Rada's Blessing to get a chance of a double golden tench drop, but I highly recommend not to wear it because it just makes this activity a lot harder. And make sure to have nothing worn in your hand, weapon, and shield slot. So the fastest way to Mulch Island is to use the favoring code DJR, depositing your Drayman staff to the bank to the east, and then running west to the dock here. You can also use the Kretz Memoirs teleport to History and Hearsay, depositing your Kretz Memoirs to the bank to the north, and then just taking this path through the hill giants and then west to the dock. You can also teleport to the battlefront and then run south to this dock over here. All 3 of these docks can bring you to Mulch Island. So here's the in-game example of how to do aerial fishing. So I'm at the boat, board the boatie, and then travel to Mulch Island. So the first time you're here, run south and grab about 10 kingworms right next to Alri. Once you have your 10 kingworms in your inventory, right-click Alri to get the bird from him and just go through the dialogue. So what I like to do is I like to angle my camera eastward, so I'm going to just go ahead and turn my camera. And you can also see with a marked floor tile to the east where I like to stand, which is kind of like in the peninsula. If there's someone already in that world, you want to switch to a different one because they will slow down your catch rate. Also, I recommend having the client smaller because your mouse is closer to the inventory. It's also helpful to be more zoomed in into the game, that way you have less chance of misclicking the fishing spots. And it's pretty self-explanatory, just click on the fishing spots to send your bird out. Your top priority is the green fishing spots because your bird will fly out faster to catch the fish. If there are no green fishing spots, I prioritize the most eastern tiles so my character doesn't accidentally move around. And if there aren't any to the east, my last resort is just clicking the tiles closest to your character. Also, I like to turn off the XP drops by clicking the XP orb. That way the XP bar doesn't get in the way. Also, if you're using RuneLite, you can also move the mini-map to the bottom right by holding Alt on your keyboard and then kind of dragging it down to the bottom right. That way you have more room to catch on the fishing spots. To get the mini-map or any of the panels back into the original layout, hold the Alt key and right click and it'll snap back in place. So right now I'm just going to catch a full inventory of fish and I'll fast forward just so you guys can see the process. But when you have a full inventory, you can go ahead and drop all of your king worms on the floor. You won't be needing them at all anymore. Just use your knife on any of the fish in your inventory and this will automatically give you fish chunks in your inventory slowly. If you want to do it faster, you can spam click between the both, but it's going to be a long grind, so most likely you're just going to click it once and just let it do it automatically. This will give you stackable fish chunks in your inventory, and instead of king worms, you're now using fish chunks as bait to use the fishing spots. If you have level 99 cooking and you don't care about cooking experience, you could also just drop all the fish on the floor to get mulch pearls faster, but save some fish chunks because you will need them for bait. And like I said before, for every 75 to 100 fish that you catch, you have a chance of getting a mulch pearl, which is the currency used to buy the stuff in the shop. Alreed, the reward shop owner, is found just in the middle of the island. You can just right click him to trade. But that's basically it for aerial fishing and the rewards from the activity. It's definitely a super simple mini game, it's more of just a grind. If there's any other activities you want me to make guides for, let me know in the comments below. But if you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.